are required on MTA vehicles and in stations.
Stop requested. Castlegate Road. Mother Carolyn Academy and Education Center.
American Jank, what up, bro? What up, American Jank? Todd Sill. Oh, what's up, everybody? Damon Morris, what up, bro? How you doing? Valley of the Sun, good morning. Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all hit that like. On our way to an eviction rally that's coming up at 11:30, you know. The Prince of Protest, back on the scene. I call myself the Prince because it's only left to the King. The Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King of protest, ladies and gentlemen. Bass player, what up, bro? But nah, what's up, homie? I just put me a CBD joint out, bro. Perfect sense. What's going on? Hey, everybody. I appreciate all of y'all in here with me. Chilling. How y'all doing? Things ain't going to get, it's not going to get, you know, revved up until about, 18 minutes from now. So I'm going to just take this ride on this bus, this little quick ride. We'll be at our destination shortly, so well, y'all hang in there, get acclimated with each other. It's Mr. Matinee. Y'all go ahead and get your popcorn. Good morning, everybody. Alright, Bernard, you out, Bernard? Wandering Rebel Investigations. What up, bro? Wow, that name sound like you got some heavy stuff. Holla at me. Eyes on Bluebloods at gmail.com. That's for everybody. Eyes on Bluebloods at gmail.com. Y'all got some stuff y'all want to be put out there? Y'all not really comfortable putting it out yourselves? Send it to the resistance. Eyes on Bluebloods at gmail.com. Everything that sounds like an S is actually a Z. That's EYEZONBLUEBLOODZ at gmail.com. Eyes on Bluebloods at gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. Valley of the Sun, 117. Wow, it's 117 out there in the desert. Everybody give a shout out to Valley of the Sun through dredging through this heat. Shout outs to Valley of the Sun. Amy Lou, Eric Elliott, good morning to all of y'all. That's right. Make sure y'all hit the like for me.
Neighborhoods. YMCA.
Nah, it's in Dudley. Going to a rally in Dudley, Boston, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen. The Dudley section of Boston, Massachusetts. It's an eviction route. Anybody that's local want to come out, show their support. The resistance is out here, just bringing y'all everything that I can see. Mr. Matinee, go get your popcorn. The news, what up, bro? Lost the metal, what's going on, homie? My man, pound back at you.
Stop requested.
If possible, exit rear door.
To the step. What up, bro? Good morning to you. Shout out to Valley of the Sun from Damon Morris. Damon, is it Damon? Hit number 1 if it's Damon, or hit number 2 if it's Damon. I want to get it right, bro. Jennifer Lynn Lyon. Good morning to you. Hello. Shout out to Jennifer Lynn Lyon for supporting the cause, ladies and gentlemen. For supporting everything that I can see, bringing it to you so you can see. That's what Jennifer Lyons was doing, supporting the cause. Me being out here just bringing everything to you that's newsworthy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Not watching. Press release. Audits. However you want it, I'll give it to you. Y'all let me know. You know I got it. Good morning, Jennifer Lynn Lyon. Damon Morris, my man. We on Blue Hill Avenue, ladies and gentlemen, on a 28 bus on my way to the Dudley section of Roxbury, Boston, Massachusetts. Monitoring level investigations. I just may check into that. Damon Morris, no problem, bro. No problem at all. I appreciate you. Shout out to Damon Morris for binge watching my ish from Jump Street. That man went in from Jump Street. Watched about 30 vids in 8 hours. Commented on each and every one of them.
Kearsarge Avenue, Roxbury District Courthouse.
Amy Lou, come on out.
Station, Silver Line and bus connection. For your safety, please use the crosswalks.
What's up, everybody? It's the Resistance. Couple more minutes to the rally, ladies and gentlemen. Eviction rally. Got 9 minutes left. Palmer. Palmer. You live on YouTube? You live on YouTube right now, bro. Free advertisement. Free advertisement, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Soler.
Soler.
Right in Dudley.
What y'all?
We got everything. We got chicken, burgers, hot beef sausage. We got ribs inside. We got mac and cheese.
What y'all specialize in?
With black-owned businesses.
Soul food.
Yeah, soul food, black-owned businesses, and we just out here trying to do it for the community right now. We do catering for the community, Mass General, for the old heads and stuff like that. You know, we help them out.
Okay.
I'm just a worker here right now.
Okay. Well, you look like you're doing the thing right there.
Yeah.
You look like you're doing the thing. You grill man, right? You the grill man.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, Leah, what's the address, bro?
That I'm gonna have to check out.
Don't worry about it. I get it for you. Excuse me, miss. $2306 Washington, ladies and gentlemen. So, Leo. Soul food restaurant. We got the man on the grill right here doing the thing.
Donald Trump. That's for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Am I-
no food for no black people.
Am I recording for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
No, I'm not recording for
Okay,
Donald
my
Trump.
bad. I'm just
But you
messing
can
with
speak
you.
your piece, though.
Yeah,
How you
yeah.
feel about Donald
You're
Trump?
good. How I feel about Trump? He's a sick man. He need help.
You need
I've
help.
been in Boston since 1960. I just ain't got off the boat, brother. Grew up in St. James, Dorchester High. Football, Bears back in the day. Just saw my boy Derek over there. Derek used to play for the Bears, but he's younger than me. But how's everybody? Enjoy. Peaceful out here. Black folks love black folks.
My
Peace,
man.
y'all. Y'all be
My
good.
man. Have a good day, bro. Good morning, good morning. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Good morning. We out here at 2300 Washington Street, ladies and gentlemen. It's the eviction rally. We gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna see everything I can see, so y'all can see everything that I can see. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? All right. What you got? Got some literature right there?
Yes, I do.
Can I check it out, man?
Reading up on it right now.
Oh, okay. Lifting the voices of those most affected. This is part of the rally that they having out here today, right?
sir.
So they're giving that paperwork out?
Yep, one of the ladies down there gave it out.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Take care, be safe.
Yeah. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
But I don't know where they are. Yeah, I know. I think people are still trickling in. I'm trying. It's hard.
How you doing? Where can I get some literature from?
Oh, here you go.
Thank you.
With the Boston
What
Education
are the people out here for, in your words?
I'm sorry.
What are the people out here for, in your words?
For a variety of different things. I think people that are income insecure, that are most impacted by the coronavirus, the pandemic, are low-income folks as well as people of color. And just kind of, what's the plan after, with evictions and whatnot. Everything going on in the city.
So with all this going on, I would suppose that there's a stop with homeless people trying to get housing as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
So
I
it's just-
know that with homeless BPS families, they double the vouchers or whatever. But
Right.
it's a matter
Sorry, yeah, the
of,
B on you.
It's a matter of, securing housing for folks, which I think has always been a problem.
Okay.
It's not just a matter of more vouchers.
So you expecting for it to be a big event?
I hope so.
How long you think it's going to be for?
It's supposed to be for about an hour, hour and a half.
Okay.
And then we're going to the State House to talk to Governor Baker about his education policies in terms of reopening. Different cities are doing it different ways. Boston has like this weird hybrid model that isn't going to work for our children. So we're going to see how.
You speaking about the remote learning?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not in agreement with that as well?
Well, it's not that I'm not in agreement. I'm not in agreement with how it's being done.
How it's being
There's
done.
not a real plan.
Okay.
So
And-
like the plan itself doesn't really.
If they do try to go remote, how much power do you think the parents are going to actually have over, the ministering of the teachings? Like, I think, the parents should have more power than any educational system if they're going to do it that way. Because if it was homeschooling, it would be that way, right?
Right. But I mean, there's also like students who need in-person services, like special ed students,
That's true.
English language learners. And the spaces that are, the schools themselves, only 33 or 35 of them have updated HVAC systems. So they're
Okay.
not safe spaces.
Right,
the same
right,
way we
right,
talk about
right.
unsafe working conditions.
Same thing in the
unsafe
school, in the
unsafe
classrooms.
learning conditions.
Right. Now I
Yeah.
was thinking about that as well. How much are they going to be able to space 30 to 36 students in a classroom?
Yeah, they're
You
not
know?
able to. They,
Right.
all the budgetary problems that we had before are coming to pass now. So,
Right. Well, I thank you. You just spoke live on the Resistance channel on YouTube. I actually cover police accountability, but I'm all about the First Amendment. This right here is First Amendment, so
you're
I'm
about
covering
police
it.
accountability.
Yes,
Tonight
yes.
is the school committee meeting. They're going to be discussing a policy that last year deported 2 students. So there's information sharing that happens with student information to the BPD, which is then passed on to ICE. And so they're discussing that tonight at the school committee. So please tune in.
Where is this located?
It's all virtual. So if you go to Boston Public Schools School Committee,
Uh-huh.
you'll be able to register to give testimony. But they're planning on proposing a similar policy that continues sharing information with the BPD,
Okay,
which then
great.
shares it with ICE.
Good information. I appreciate that. Hey, you want to give out a first name so everybody can give you a shout out?
Sure, my name is Ruby. I work with the Boston Education Justice Alliance.
Shout outs to Ruby, y'all. How you doing, D-Sir? Hey, just real quick question. What are the people out here for today? What are the people out here for today?
So I'm probably not the best person to ask about that, but this is like a. I honestly just learned about this
It's an
yesterday.
eviction rally, but you're here to support, right?
Yeah, no, I'm here to support it.
Uh-huh.
I think that in general, like Boston residents need more like support when it comes to rent. Boston residents need better access to testing. Personally, I go to Northeastern. So I'm here to speak about some of the issues with like Northeastern reopening. We're going to be bringing thousands of students back into Boston from all over the country in like 2-3 weeks.
Right.
It's going to be a disaster. A ton of people are going to get sick.
You attend
At
Northeastern?
Yeah, at Northeastern and in the surrounding community. And it seems like no one really cares about that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Right. And that's a good topic to bring up. So not only are students coming from within the country, you have some coming from outside the country?
Yeah, I believe that if they're coming from outside the country, they had to like quarantine at another location that's not in Boston first or
Right.
something.
But
I'm
still
not-
proposes a danger as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, you want to give a shout out? Just you're live on YouTube right now. I'm the Resistance. I have a platform on YouTube. Basically, I cover mostly police accountability, but I'm a 1A auditor, a First Amendment auditor, and this right here is First Amendment, so I'm out here covering it. Give a first name so everybody can give you a shout out.
Jordan,
Jordan. Shout outs to Jordan, y'all.
thanks for what you're doing.
Hi, sisters. How you doing? Hey, can I ask you a quick question? What are you guys doing out here today, and what's your mission, and what do you hope to accomplish?
We hope to get a conference of passing the Guaranteed Housing Stability Act that's in the State House now. And that would guarantee people to forgive their back rent for another year. Because right now, if you don't forgive their back rent, how can you pay rent? You pay rent once a month.
Right.
How can you pay back rent
That's
if
true.
you could continually paying rent every month?
Right.
How is that going to work?
Especially during this day and age right now.
Yeah, during this COVID-19.
Right.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You should expect people to pay back rent when you can't pay your present rent. So how you gonna pay back?
Right, right.
And that's the question. That's why we need this bill passed. We need everybody to call the governor, the state representative, and get this bill passed.
So you already, before COVID-19, you guys had already had this in effect.
Right.
Okay, and COVID-19 just presented a major danger
Major
as well.
danger,
So
exactly.
it's imperative for this to be heard.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I appreciate you. I'm the Resistance on YouTube. I basically cover police accountability.
Right.
But I'm all about the First Amendment, and you
Right.
guys are out here doing your First Amendment.
Housing is a human right.
Exactly.
We all need a place to stay.
Right.
And with all these evictions that are coming up, if this bill is not passed, what you can do with all these people?
Right.
So we need it to pass.
I think you want to give out a first name just so everybody can give you a shout out?
Yes, my name is Ruby James Saucer.
Ruby Jane Saucer.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Look who we got out here, bro. Nessa Porter, man. Official street resistor, man. He back out here. What's up, bro? How you doing? I see you covering it. Hey, listen, I couldn't find it, the YouTube channel.
You spelled the name wrong. It's Nezer. You put Nezza.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Nezer.
Nezer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I made a mistake. This Nezer Raw, I put Nezer Raw. The correct spelling is Nezer. Last name is Porter, and you can find him on YouTube. He got street clips on police accountability on YouTube, right?
That out there, yes sir.
Yeah, so y'all can go there. Please don't pay attention to what I put on the video. I misheard what he said. It's Nezer, last name Porter. First name Nezer. Y'all can find him on YouTube. Shout outs to Nezer Porter, y'all. Official street. I gave you the first person I gave a resistor badge to, man. And you earned it because when I'm out here, you out here. So it's only right, bro. It's the first person.
As much as I can.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you out here. I finally got somebody. Well, I'm not gonna say I influenced him, but what I will say is there's somebody out here that's recording alongside with me. Everybody should record.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna float around. I'm gonna catch up with you. Yeah.
That's because I'm wearing that one.
How you doing today, ma'am? I'm the Resistance from YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I'm just out here covering you guys doing the First Amendment, which is the rally here. Just in a few short words, could you tell me what the people are out here today for?
Well, I think the big concern, one of the top concerns, is around what's going to happen around housing, what's been happening around housing during COVID, and the fact that the governor has extended the moratorium on evictions till October. So that was one step to extended from August, but people really worried after that the COVID's going to be with us, and so really wanting to have a much longer time of protection for tenants, also small landlords from evictions, and of course jobs and economic growth. But that's what pulled me out. That issue has really been concerning.
And we appreciate your support as well. Thank you.
I'm here because there's like a coalition of neighborhoods in Northeastern that's working to kind of like make reopening safer, and at this point,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not a professional
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we out here at 2300 Washington Street. This is what's going down. There's a rally, an eviction rally. People out here supporting people who are not able to pay their rent and that are backed up in rent. They feel as though it needs to stop. There needs to be some amendments going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Check.
Peanut 411, shout outs to 411. What's up, Peanut? May I have that, please? Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Check. Check.
We have one here, Antonio left the caravan from Morton Village, and people got I was not going to practice when you talk about forward, I was I'm not going to let that go.
Sure.
It's really about out here fighting for their liberties and their justices, and they need to join in with those forces.
And we have the media here as well.
A lot of media. A lot of media.
Trying to cover or something. Hopefully the lady come right here.
That's right.
To the media. So, yeah, thank you.
yeah, no, I remember. I was good.
How you doing today, Miss? Hey, would you mind telling me what the people are doing out here today, just in your words real quick?
Oh, I'm not with the protest. I'm a reporter.
Oh, you're a reporter.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just gathering the facts, huh?
That's all right.
All right, I hear that. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Most people.
We're trying to start like a reading group for no shortcuts.
How you doing today, sir? You out here for the rally, right?
Yeah,
In your words, just real quick, what is your meaning of the support of your support out here?
well, I'm here. I'm looking for the sister Judy because I'm the chair of the Nubian Square Coalition.
Are you? I'm sorry to cut you off, but are you part of the reason of the name change from Dudley to Nubian?
The coalition that they're.
Okay, man, I ask you about that because a lot of people in the community are like really back and forth. Some people call it Dudley, some people call it Nubian. You give me the reason, the strong reason why that name was changed?
Well, primarily because of the fact that the Dudley family in the 1600s, they were involved in the slave trade vis-a-vis Thomas Dudley was the governor and oversaw passage of the legislation that legalized slavery in Massachusetts. And then his son Joseph down the line became governor and maintained it. And then in the early 1700s, the abolitionists led the effort to have the law taken down. So this state was one of the first to have, legalized slavery. And so we just felt like it was ridiculous to have our primary commercial shopping district named in honor of a family that helped to legalize slavery.
And as you speak, I was sitting here at a loss of words. I'm from Philadelphia. I've lived here for a few years now. And that was the reason why I asked you, because I had no idea of the significance of either name. Well, I know what Nubian means, but Dudley, I didn't have no history of that. And I had lots of words that you telling me that. So, wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got it first. And you just reported that one live. So a lot of people didn't know that information right there. That was a good key piece of information.
It took us 6 years because we had to educate folks just like yourselves. It was the reason why we wanted to do it.
Wow. So they were for slavery. And for all these hundreds of years, we've been calling this Dudley with a community of black people.
Yeah, well, I mean, black folk pretty much came in the last few decades. Before that was primarily.
Don't matter. When we came through, we called it Dudley.
Yeah, exactly.
And that man and his family, the whole bloodline was in support of slavery.
Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got it first. Can I get a first name just so they can give you a shout out, bro? Sadiki, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Y'all got it first. The reason for the name change of Dudley Square changed to Nubian Square because the Dudley family was in support of slavery for hundreds of years. I had no idea about that. I always wondered. I asked people about that, and they were just indifferent. Yeah, some people in the community that were calling it Dudley and refused to call it.
You know him. He used to be in WILD back in the day.
WID?
WILD, they were the alarm machine.
Okay.
He's going way back there. That's way back.
Wow, well, he just gave me a significant piece of key information right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on we don't know about.
Nubian Square, ladies and gentlemen. Nubian Square is the official name that I'm calling it. No longer Dudley Square. Nubian Square, ladies and gentlemen. I know the reason. I support the reason. I'm with the reason. It's the resistance.
You're actually trying to make a customer uncomfortable. Is there any reason why you're recording? Sir? Is there any reason? Or are you just recording for the sake of it? Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. Go to see you there.
So we're working on the library. You might have heard that a name was made for the library, Bronx Library. There was a little bit of trickery going on. We're competing on the Louisville Library. Let me just say, that the work that's sitting on that is critical, because what's going on with the development is that this area is very quickly in the next few years with all the development that's coming in. And the residents in the area, you know that they're able, including myself, ability to remain here is going to be based on what people in the community do. See to it that the folks don't get driven out, because that is the plan. And that's why we're saying that the name change is just the first step. So when Judy invited me to come here for City Life, my car was blocked out this morning, but I got here. I felt I had to be here because it's important that folks understand that what you're doing is critical for the very life of people in this community. So I'm glad to be here. The work continues, and we're pleased to have you here in Nubian Square.
Thank you very much, Sadiq. Thank you for that. And next on the program is Amanda Covan from Reclaiming Roxbury. Give her a hand.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me out there? Yeah. All right. My name is Amanda Govan, and I'm one of the residential representatives for Reclaim Roxbury, and I'm here to speak about the safety of BPS schools and for the kids to go back in the fall. And this is not a safe situation for any of the schools in the system. A lot of these schools, I'll move away from the speaker. Okay. A lot of these schools are about anywhere from like close to 75, 80 years old, and the same way that they remodeled and did the Ferdinand building, they could have did that to a lot of the schools that's already in the system. They've doing a lot of this cattle herding when it comes to us in general, and thinking that they could just shift us around and move us around, and just because we're used to migrating because that's a part of our culture, well, they could just go somewhere else. A lot of us been planted here, so we can just, if we all can come together and figure this out for the children. That's my 8-year-old. She's trying to fan the bee away from her. And they're trying to get her to go to Orchard Garden. And we all know the situation with Orchard Garden and Methadone Mile. And I feel like I shouldn't have to sacrifice my child for a semi-decent public education. I was her teacher for like the past close 4.5 months due to the remote learning online and stuff. So I feel at this point in the game, a lot of the stuff should have been upgraded already. A lot of these schools should have been upgraded already. A lot of these things, if I remember how J.J. Hurley used to look when I was her age, and this was back in the 80s when crack cocaine was hot, and it still looks the same in this 2020, like a lot of this stuff is ridiculous. All of this funding that is going to their pocket and is not going to them. This is not a fair shake. It never been a fair shake. A lot of this has to stop. A lot of this has to stop. I've been speaking out on a lot of these different issues, and I know y'all recognize my face from City Hall and the private testimonies and stuff like that, but a lot of these issues affect my children, your children, nieces, nephews, cousins, a lot of us. We can't sacrifice our children because of COVID-19 and, oh, let's just see if they'll survive this. A lot of us aren't even surviving this already. They just expect for us to just sit at home and stay in the house. What about groceries? What about laundry? What about basic living essentials? Like, a lot of this stuff has to stop. Even though we're supposed to weed out the weak, due to our genetic coding, we all know that Africans are not weak. We all know that due to a lot of the movements of Black Lives Matter, if it wasn't for Black lives, all lives wouldn't be on this planet. So we have to really recognize the real paradigm shift that's really happening right now. And if we don't step forward, align ourselves, and really come together to make change, it's going to be more of the same, and it shouldn't be more of the same. A lot of the city is like the same from when I was her age, and it shouldn't even be that way, and I'm raising my children here now. A lot of this should not be the same. This should have been upgraded from the 90s. But when it comes to a lot of this money being funded into these folks' pockets and not to our pockets to make our communities better, then there's a problem. A lot of the stuff out here, I essentially don't agree with. One of the things I don't agree with is with the Boston Public Schools Committee and how a lot of the people that are on those boards don't represent us. You can't say that you're here for the brown and black students and you don't look like neither one of them. And I just feel like when it comes down to it, even though we're here and we're organized and we're coming together now, we need to be that united front to protect the children, basically. So in the end, when we become of that age where we have to sit down and pass the torch to them, they're more than likely to take it and carry on. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Amanda. Very well explained. And her beautiful daughter. Give her a hand, because she was good. She stood there and listened to her mommy. Thank you so much. Next, we'll have Katie from White Coats for Black Lives. Just give her a hand.
Hi, I'm Katie Himmelstein. I'm a resident physician at Massachusetts General Hospital, and I'm also a primary care doctor in Chelsea, Massachusetts. And I'm also here today on behalf of the national organization White Coats for Black Lives, which is a medical student and doctor organization started in 2014 that's fighting for racial justice in medicine. And I'm really proud to be here today to share some of what we're working on. So, throughout the spring, I was working at Mass General Hospital in the ICUs, taking care of our patients there with COVID in the intensive care units. And as we know, those patients were disproportionately Black and Latinx patients because our Black and Latinx communities, which have already been devastated by gentrification, by police violence, by surveillance, have also been hit tremendously hard by this virus and been suffering terrible losses from this virus. And I was thinking about particularly one patient I took care of who was a man in his 40s, a Latinx man with 2 young children who after 2 months in the hospital unfortunately passed away, leaving behind 2 children in the care of a distant relative who was the only person who was able to care for them. I think our political leaders have been asking us to make a choice. They've been asking us to choose between education and health, and we know that that's the wrong question. We know that in this country, the wealthiest country in the world, we should be able to have high quality education for our children, and we should be able to have health for their families. Our children can't learn if their parents are dying, quite frankly. So we need a plan that accomplishes high quality education for our children and health for their parents and safety for their families. And it's time for our political leaders to develop solutions that are based in the reality that our communities, particularly here in Boston, our Black and Latinx communities, have been really for a long time missing out on access to high quality education, stable housing, access to health care and good paying jobs. And our leaders are really trying to create stopgap strategies, but we know, and members of this community have already been telling us that we need long-term solutions that can last us through the pandemic, which may be years, and beyond the end of the pandemic. And so White Coats for Black Lives is just really proud to stand in solidarity with members of this community as we fight for the changes we need to survive the pandemic and to build thriving communities past the pandemic. So thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you. Next we'll have Ruby Reyes from Boston Education Justice Alliance. Give her a hand as she comes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ruby Reyes. I work with the Boston Education Justice Alliance. We mobilize parents, students, and teachers for better Boston Public Schools. I want to thank you all for coming out today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the BPS plan, which is currently not a real plan. Some of the really bad parts of it are that they expect teachers to teach online and in person at the exact same time, which is impossible. And the worst part of it is that the other most damaging piece is that they expect schools that don't have updated ventilation systems. There's only 33 to 35 Boston Public Schools out of the 125. So that leaves 90 to 95 of the schools without updated HVAC systems. That is where we're sending our kids back. And just the same way that we think about unsafe working conditions and unsafe living conditions is the way that we need to think about these schools being unsafe learning conditions. And so for us, at Boston Education Justice Alliance, our stance is that the majority of our students need to be remote only, but our high need students, the ones that need in-person services, such as our special ed students, our English language learners, our children that have not logged on, have only logged on half of the time, those kids need in-person services, but they need them in safe spaces. And so for us, those safe spaces, we don't trust that there are schools, and we don't trust that our Boston Public School leadership is doing the right thing by finding safe spaces for them. And so for us, there's so much happening in Boston around gentrification. The same thing is happening with the public school system. Currently, on August 5th, our school committee voted to hand over the green space at the McCormick School at the Columbia Point, Dorchester area. So they've leased it now to the Boston Boys and Girls Club. They're taking away green space from young people in order to develop a field house in a time when we need green space. And they're gentrifying that neighborhood. This was a deal that was made right between the mayor and these developers, you know, many years ago. And so if you're just as angry as I am, there's a school committee meeting tonight. You have to register by 4:30 in order to give public testimony. Tonight, they'll be reviewing a policy that basically got 2 young people deported last year. They're doing information sharing with the BPD, which is then shared with ICE. Tonight, they're going to be talking about that policy, which they updated to basically the same thing. Basically the same exact thing. So our children have the potential to be deported yet again, thanks to the Boston School Committee, thanks to BPS leadership. And so if you're just as angry as I am, please join the school committee meeting tonight. It's virtual, as well as become active in, I know that there's Boston Public School parents here. As we're talking about the reopening, make sure that you're thinking about safe spaces for our children. And thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ruby, for that. I was just informed that the past president of the NAACP, Michael Curry, is on Zoom, or coming on Zoom right now. And he's an attorney, and he's a leader in our community. So give him a hand, please. Because of his schedule, he can't be here in person, but he's on a Zoom call with us. And thank you again, Ruby. Next we'll have Cheryl Antoine from Reclaiming Roxbury. Give her a hand.
Good afternoon. Housing is our right. 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 I'm Cheryl Antoine. Housing is a right. I am Cheryl Antoine. Sorry. I'm just here. I'm going to be very brief. I want to say that, you know, I have many friends that their children are going back to school. Honestly, I don't think it's safe. It isn't safe. We need to start remote. And as we are starting remote, I'm asking that our legislators work with the electric company and everybody else, Xfinity and etc., to get support, tech support for families. Let's do the right thing. This pandemic is going to be with us. We did not bring this pandemic. We did not bring it on ourselves, and it is wrong. It is wrong. So I'm asking again our state legislators to support the Housing Stability Act, okay? H4878. We have to continue keeping our families in the home. So we are going back to school. If you get evicted, where's the families gonna go? Where's our students gonna go? That puts a burden on families. Housing is our right, and it is a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. I'm going to stop right now because I will keep going on.
Housing is our right. So I'm asking, please support. I'm here to support, and I am a landlord. I am not going to ask my family that's renting to leave because why? They can't afford to pay. Look around us. How many jobs in this area right now will not be here in the next few months? I'm sorry, but it is wrong. Housing is our right. Thank you. Reclaiming the house.
Now, did you guys just see that energy from this lady? I think she needs another round of applause. Because she came up here like, I'm going to own this right now. I don't care what nobody says, but it is our right. And we need to keep fighting. Thank you. Thank you for that, Miss Antoine. Next on our program is Carolyn Lomax. And she can tell you all about who she is.
The people united will never be defeated. Let me say it again. The people united will never be defeated. I come today standing in full solidarity with this community that has been marginalized ever since I can remember. All my life, I've had to fight. And every so many years, they come back and they just want to push us out. But today, I'm here because the children are not in the equation. Who has spoke to the children and said, what about me? Why should I go to school? The COVID numbers are rising. My children said to me, Ma, aren't you our protector? I said, what? You're going to send us knowing that COVID has risen? They've been cutting our budget every year. So now where is the manpower going to come from? Ma, you said you're going to work this morning? I said, well, Ma, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to stand up and fight. So instead of going to my job, because I've been a staple in the community, I run a small business in Dorchester for the last 30 years. I'm a homeowner. I have tenants that can't pay their rent. And yet, let me tell you something, if you're a homeowner, work with your tenants because the people united can never be defeated. I don't know about you guys, but I know the history that was built on the backs of the African American. But let me just say this to you. When I look around, I need you, I need you, I need you. I need you, you and you. We need each other. I don't know what nobody's thinking, but if you don't need anybody, that's not good. Everybody is important. But today I'm here to say, I'm going to tell this short story and then I'm going to sit down. I have 16 children, 10 I gave birth to. And I said to them when they were signing their papers for school, I said, look, fill out the information that you know, and I'll fill out the rest of it. So my little boy at the time was 5. He said, Ma, I almost got it filled out, but I got a question. It says race. What should I put? Cross country or 100-yard dash? I said, wait a minute. He said it again. He said, Mom, what should I put? Cross country, 100-yard dash. I never seen that word like that when I was filling out applications. But we are not in a race. We're not in a race. We're here to work side by side. Like Timex. Click, clock, and keep ticking. That's what we're here for. So I told my son at 5, whatever you want to put, honey, put it. Cross country or 100-yard dash. Because we're not in a race. So think about our children, guys. I don't even know if they're going to let me back in the house because they're listening to the media right now. We're supposed to be not in crowds, but I couldn't help it today, guys. I had to come out because if I don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. And you know what? I can talk about this all day, but I'm just going to stop with this. It's not safe for our children to go back to school. The schools have been underfunded for years. They're not clean. They're not safe. We don't have enough manpower, and it's time to stop. It has been an incredible feat with this remote learning, And let me just say this. Look, there's a reason why some kids can't log on. For the first time in my life, we've had 14 computers going in my house. And you all know that internet in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan is not like internet in Milton, Newton, and our other neighborhoods. So don't get it twisted that the kids don't want to sign on. But the other thing, I'm going to say, I'm going to let it go for now. I'm going to table it. Health, education is not more important than breathing, guys. Can we just remember that? So sending our kids to school and they can't breathe, what good is an education if you're not living? And we need our teachers. We're going to get through this. Can we say together? Wait a minute, we're in together. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this.
Give her another hand. See? They're coming up here with fire. So now, I don't know who's coming behind her, but you better come with some fire behind your butt. Okay? Thank you, Carolyn, for that. And next on our program is Lavette Coney. She's a mother. She's a teacher. She's a voice for racial justice, effective at the building, in the power, and in her community. Give her a hand.
I have a couple of questions for everyone to ponder and to also act on. But before I tell you ask you what the questions are, I would like to preface it with the fact that we live in a race-based society centered on white supremacy, whiteness, and also on power. And the fact that the Boston School Committee is also made up of people handpicked by the mayor is the crux of the problem. The first question is, was your voice heard in shaping the Boston Public Schools reopening plan? Make sure you act. If you gave input on reopening schools, has it been addressed? You need to act. Do you see racism influencing the school's policies for reopening? Act. Is Boston putting in the resources needed to put our children from falling behind in schools? Act. Do you know of families that don't have a reliable, high-quality internet connection for their children to learn remotely? Yes. Act. What have you seen that was positive about the government school reopening plan process? Nothing. Act. Do you think people are being held accountable for how well they educate and protect the health of our public school students, teachers, and staff? Act.
Thank you for that very much. Okay, next, moving right along, is Cecil Carey, and he's from the Boston Teachers Union. Give him a hand. Now, like I said, he's from the Boston Teachers Union. So if you all have any other concerns, this is who you need to come to, okay?
All right, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that, but I think we'll get started with a little chant. Repeat after me. We're gonna do it 4 times, all right? All power to the people. 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 All right, peace, y'all. Again, my name's Cecil Carey. I'm a teacher at Charlestown High School and a proud member of the Boston Teachers Union. We are coming here today in solidarity with City Life Vita Urbana and with educators, families, and students across the city of Boston. Many of my students at Charlestown High live in East Boston, where City Life has done some of their most important organizing, resisting gentrification, making sure our students have a safe place to live so that they can learn, so that they can progress in their lives. So we want to say we stand in solidarity with y'all We need to have a moratorium on evictions. We need to have expansion of safe housing. And really, what I'm here today to say is that we're fighting for the soul of our city. We're fighting for the soul of our city. Is this city going to belong to the gentrifiers, to the capitalists, to the bankers? No. It's got to belong to the people. Our students in low-income housing, our immigrant communities. That's who this city belongs to. That's who we're going to be fighting for. And that's what we're here for today. And we're going to speak up for y'all as the Boston Teachers Union. Together, we're building a coalition, a movement, to make sure that we're keeping our students and their families safe. And I want to tell you a little bit more about the fight that we're having with Boston Public Schools, Superintendent Brenda Cassellius, and Mayor Marty Walsh, and Governor Baker right now. The simple fact is, and we all know it, our schools are not safe. Our schools are not safe right now. Even before this pandemic, our schools were underfunded due to racist lack of support for our black and brown students. We've been underfunded. Our schools have been dirty. We haven't had enough supplies. This pandemic has only made those problems worse. We don't have enough counselors to meet our students' needs. This is a traumatic event that we've gone through. Our students need support. They need those social and emotional needs. We can't just be focused on sending them back so that their parents can go to work. We got to focus on them as humans first. That's what we're fighting for. And look, I want to say a couple things. We know that the spring was very hard for our students and their families, and for teachers as well. Us teachers, when we say we need to start remote, we're not asking for a vacation. That's very important. We're not asking for a repeat of the spring. Because what we had in the spring, that wasn't remote learning. That was crisis learning. We're in the middle of a crisis. Our students don't have internet. They're sick and worried about getting sick. We need the time and the resources to do remote learning right. That's what we're demanding from Boston Public Schools. We're not asking for a vacation. We miss our kids. We miss our students. Believe me, I want to go back to Charlestown High and see my students. But the fact is that right now, it's not safe. So, we're asking for planning that includes union educators, students, and their families. We need a phased-in approach that ensures that teachers have time to plan, that there's funding to make the improvements to our schools that we need, and focuses on our most vulnerable students first. That's how we've got to start this year. And that's what we're going to be fighting for. And at the same time, we need to make sure that our students have a safe place to live, that they're not being kicked out by these gentrifiers, that they have a safe place to go home to. I have so many students who have had to move in the middle of the year, who have left districts, who have moved schools because the rent's too high. And what do you think that does to their learning? Do you think they can focus in class when they don't know where they're going to sleep tonight? No. And that's not right. And we're not going to stand for it. Because once again, we are fighting for the soul of our city. And we're going to chant once again, okay? I'm going to ask you, whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? That's right. So I'm calling on Governor Charlie Baker. Extend the moratorium on evictions. Endorse the BTU's phased reopening plan. Listen to families. Listen to students. Ensure safety. Not one death. Not one death. Not one death. When we fight, we win. That's right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Cecil, for that great introduction. Give him another hand. That was awesome. All of that. So you guys know where he's from, right? Let me hear you. Where is he from? Where is he from? Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Next we have Jordan Buckman from Northeast. He's a Northeastern student. Does NU care? Give him a hand. Thank you.
Hey everyone, so yeah, my name is Jordan. I'm a Northeastern student and I'm with Does NU Care, which is the Coalition for Affordability, Responsibility, and Equity. We're a group of students and student groups in Northeastern who came together at the beginning of the pandemic when we realized that Northeastern was not going to be responsible with its reopening plan. They were going to harm both students and the local community, and we wanted to do something about that. Well, you know, months have passed since then, and it seems like all of our worst fears have come true. Northeastern is reopening at the beginning of the fall semester. They're bringing all of their students back, and they're not having any plans to protect the local community. Now, yesterday, our university president, did an interview, and he also wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post. And what he said in this interview and in this op-ed was that he is doing the local community a favor by reopening Northeastern. Now let me ask all of you, is he doing you a favor by bringing thousands and thousands of students from all across the country and across the world back to Boston to live with each other, to commute with Boston residents, to work with Boston residents, and to bring coronavirus back to Massachusetts in a much greater way than it currently is? Is he doing you a favor by making sure that Northeastern students only, not community members, have access to 24-hour turnaround testing while Boston residents have to wait 1 to 2 weeks for their testing results? Is he doing you a favor by bringing students back and having them live in Boston, off campus, and gentrifying Boston while Boston residents who have lived here for a very long time are unable to pay their rent and are going to be evicted by the end of the year probably? Is that something that you want? For too long, Northeastern has seen themselves as invincible. They don't listen to students, they don't listen to faculty, they don't listen to staff. We don't have a grad student union, we don't have a non-tenure track faculty union. Essentially, whatever Northeastern administration wants to do, they do. Screw the students, screw the local community, screw everyone else. So what I'm asking is, tomorrow we are having a day of action to try to pressure Northeastern into doing things like providing PPE for all staff and faculty, which is not something that they're currently doing. They refuse to commit to providing face shields and face masks for dining hall workers, people who tend to be low income and from minority groups. Things like making sure that students are able to cancel their housing and not come back to campus up until reopening. Many students don't want to come back to campus, but they're being forced to, and being forced to potentially infect Boston residents because otherwise they have to pay thousands of dollars to cancel their housing that Northeastern would otherwise just let sit empty. Things like making sure that faculty are not forced to commute into Boston to teach all of their classes if they don't want to. Northeastern claims that they're giving people the opportunity to do this, but they're not. Many grad students, people who are even more likely to have roommates, to live in areas that are, more susceptible to coronavirus infections, those people are not able to teach remotely. So what I'm asking all of you to do is tomorrow go to doesnu.care, it's a website, and call Northeastern. There's a phone number and a call script. Send an email, do whatever you can to try to tell Northeastern that as much as they think they're representing the local community, they're not. We need to make our voices heard and make Northeastern reconsider the reopening plan before it's too late and 10,000 students come back to Boston from all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hajar Logan. She's an organizer, community leader. She's a mother of 2. She's a born resident of Roxbury, and our children are under surveillance. Come on, give her a hand.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to speak quickly to the fact that our students gave hours and hours and hours of testimony to the Boston City Council, asking them to take the police out of schools. And to hear the fact that police are still going to be in our schools is something that we need to fight against on their behalf and with them, standing with them and leading them to take the Boston Police Department out of their schools. That is the school to prison pipeline. So secondly, on the topic today, the Mayor Menino, started with Mayor Menino, had a system where he was shrinking the number of schools in low-income communities. He was shrinking the number of schools in Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan. And this system has been happening for over 20 years. So all of our schools are smaller and more crowded and not in a position at all to socially distance children. Have you ever tried to tell children to stay 6 feet apart? The school buses, most children in our city have to take school buses. The school buses have narrow hallways. How do children on school buses stay 6 feet apart? Where is the structure? There is, when we're sent calls, the city of Boston has had, under this mayor, a plan to rehabilitate all of its buildings, to create net zero carbon buildings, which means that the buildings will be low energy, energy efficient, and cleaner. The only buildings that they have systematically neglected are the Boston public schools. So where is the plan to open schools in September that is safe? So I just encourage everybody to go to the Boston School Committee tonight and to keep advocating for our children. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Give her another hand. Next, I'm going to bring up Gabrielle so she can have a few words if she doesn't mind. She's a City Life member. She's an employee. She's in the community. So we're just going to bring her up. She didn't even know I was going to call her. I just called her out the blue. You just got to be ready at all times.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a Christian, so I'm always ready in season and out of season, especially when it comes to doing what's right for my community and for the people that I care about. So we are here, definitely, City Life, we believe housing is a human right. I believe housing is a human right. So we all have to stand together to fight with these families. You know, I think it was in March when everybody started going home and not being able to leave the house. I was lucky enough to be able to stay home, but so many essential employees were not able to stay home. They had to take the buses, they had to go to work, and they had to go to the hospitals where people were dying left and right. And these folks, guess what? They have children too. These kids were traumatized because they were watching on TV that people were dying in the very same place that their parents are working at, right? So these kids have so much that we need to do for them. So in other words, we need to protect those families, those essential employees through the moratorium. The moratorium, I was able to speak to so many families and tell them, guess what? You have the peace of mind of knowing that you are not gonna be displaced. You're not gonna be evicted because of this crisis. You lost your job. You're not able to make the same amount of money. Now you have additional expenses because your kids are at home. You will not be displaced because of the moratorium. Unfortunately, as we know, so many families didn't hear about the moratorium and they had been displaced. They were moved, they were evicted illegally during this crisis. And when I talk about family, I'm not talking about people with kids only. I'm talking about the single person who doesn't have a child but shared an apartment with someone or actually rented a room in somebody's home. And those people were being pushed out, especially if the landlord had any indication that they had the COVID, right? And I spoke to all these people as well. So right now we are here today to fight. We're asking you, all of you, to stand up and fight back. It's not fair. We live in the richest country in the world, right? We have all the resources and all the money in the world, right? We want to tell the world that we are a leader, and yet we cannot take care of our own. We cannot take care of people, especially not only the current generation. We are willing to destroy the lives of the next generation. Who's gonna take care of us when we are seniors at the nursing home? I don't have kids, and I always say that my responsibility is to take care of all the kids in my neighborhood. Because when I'm at the nursing home, because the time will come, if I'm blessed enough to live long enough, I'm in need of care. If it's not the nursing home, it's gonna be it's gonna be a medical facility. And if I don't take care of the kids who are right now here growing up, they will not be able to take care of me. So I'm asking the government, the people who are elected, to do what's right, the Boston School Committee to do what's right, to make sure that these kids are not gonna go into, schools that are not healthy, schools that are not clean, schools that are gonna expose them to an illness that has already killed over 170,000 people in this country. Shame on us. Shame on us. And shame on us if we think that we can continue to kill children and kill people because we are so greedy. This system is a greedy system, and that's why they don't care about people. We need to put people first. People before profit. People before profit. People before profit. As I said earlier, I'm a Christian. What would your Jesus do?
Now that was radical. Give her another hand. Didn't I tell you she was radical? She just gave you a little taste. Thank you so much, Gabrielle. But why I'm actually kind of waiting for someone, I just want to say that we're on Zoom right now. Michael Curry, along with others, but I'm going to say Michael Curry because he's my friend. He gave a very powerful message on Zoom, and it's on Facebook Live, and you probably can go back or however, but there's other speakers on there that couldn't be here as well. They did an awesome job, and I want to thank you all for doing that. And those that are here, we thank you, the speakers, all the supporters and all the organizations, the parents, the community, everyone. And I also want to thank Standing Up for Racial Justice, the sound system. Give that gentleman a hand right there. Yes, they did that. And they did an awesome job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all the media and everybody that's here, we want to say thank you. I'm a parent in the community. Like I said, my name is Queen Warnum. I'm the CEO and founder of Women on the Rise Incorporated. So I work with women and young girls dealing with mental health issues, housing, whatever's going on. Depression, we do it all. And I'm a member and a leader. I'm on the leadership team of City Life as well, and a few other organizations in the city of Boston. But as a parent, I'm with all of you out here that are saying the same thing, that before these kids go back to school, there's a lot that has to be done. First of all, safety first. Clean these schools, okay? And a whole lot of other things that have to do. A lot of schools don't have ventilation. The windows, I'm hearing that the windows can't even go down. So, right, some of them don't have windows, so that's a problem. I can't hear y'all. Is that a problem? That's a problem. And many of us are out here, if we're not parents, we have friends or family members that are parents. We all are in this boat together, just like BTU and a few others said. We're in this together. We're in this fight together. And my slogan is, when we rise together, we win forever. Can y'all say that with me? When we rise together, we win forever. So togetherness, unity, that's what we need. In the community. Y'all hear that? In the community, we need unity, okay? So I just want to say, I thank you all, I appreciate, and Judy, can you come up here? Give her a hand. Give her a hand. She did this. She did it, and she don't like being the accolades and all that. I don't care what she gonna say later. But she put this together, and she did an awesome job. For the first time, she did this by herself with, had some people on the sidelines assisting her, but give her a hand. She did an awesome job. City Life, all of the supporters of City Life,
that are here to assist. I may not have my shirt on. It's in the bag. I didn't have time to put it on. But Home Fries, we thank you. We thank all of you just for being here, for making a difference, for standing up, making a voice, raising your voice. And I'm going to pass it on to Judy. Is there anyone else that didn't say something that would, like Ruby, I need you to come up here, please, that may want to say something as a parent, as a leader, as a community, anything, you can come on. We got a few more minutes. As a grandparent, okay, we'll give you 2 minutes, that's it.
Thank you, Queen. My name is Ruby Jane Saucer, and I've been with City Life now for over 10 years. I was fighting for my home when I first introduced with City Life. And 2 years later, about 6 or 7 years later, I was in the same boat that I was in 2010. I moved in an apartment building in Mattapan, and the previous owner sold the building, and the new owner immediately wanted to raise the rent. He wanted to raise the rent to $700. And in May, he bought the building. August, he sent us a letter that he's raising the rent for $700. And he said the reason he's raising the rent is for the tenants to pay for repairs in the building. I said, no, I'm going back to City Life. City Life is the one that helped me, pushed me to find my voice, to tell this landlord, you're not getting my money because I cannot afford to pay you. So we haggled and baggled for about a year and a half, a year and 8 months. And he didn't want to move. He didn't want to make a negotiation. He didn't want to do anything. All he wanted was his $2,100, which he did not get. So we went to court. And like I say, if you don't have the money to pay your landlord, don't move. Do not move from your house. You do not have to move. The only way you need to move is when the judge tell you to move. But your landlord cannot put you out. It's against the law to put people out of their home. This is what we work for: our home, a place to stay, a roof over your head, some place for your kids to grow up. You don't need people telling you to get out of their home. You don't have to. Go to court, fight them all the way, and that's exactly what I did. I fought, and I won. I won to stay in the place that I moved in. So I'm telling so we want to pass this bill, the greater Stable Act Bill H4878. Get on the phones, call your people in the State House, and have them pass this bill. It's a bill that help you to give the people a year's credit on your rent. Now I'm saying, if you're a renter, how you gonna pay back rent? You're not able to pay back rent. If you can't pay it now, they figure you could pay it back when you're paying it every month. It's impossible. So please, please call your congresspeople, your state legislators, and pass this act. Guaranteed Housing Stability Act Bill H4878. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby, for sharing her story. It takes a lot of courage to get up here and do that. And I am just like Ruby. I went through a similar situation, but I owned my own home. And because of longevity and certain things that happen over time, when the judge tells you, put something in writing that you have to sell your house when your kids get a certain age, and you kind of don't read the fine print, or there's something missing, it can be hard 18 years later. But I thank God I was strong. I fought for it. Even though it didn't say buyout or refinance, 18 years later, that was put in the clause. And I'm a fighter. And I own my own home. 24 years later, it's mine. All claims free. My name, nobody else. Thank you, Lord. But I thank City Life, and other programs that worked with me in the end to help me continue to fight. And most and foremost, I thank God for allowing me to be in my home. Thank you. And now we're going to have Becca from Black Lives Matter and BTU. She's going to tell you who she is.
Hi everyone, my name's Belle. I'm with the Boston Teachers Union. First of all, I want to thank City Life Vida Urbana for having us here today. It's always incredible to stand in solidarity with our community members as educators because we know that we are all interconnected. And if any of us contract COVID, that means that we are all going down with it. And so we then need to stand up for one another and make sure that we are building power together. So really quickly, I just wanted to give a quick plug. We have another event today. It is the National Day of Action in Massachusetts. So educators from around the state are coming together and gathering in socially distanced standouts to pressure Governor Charlie Baker into doing the right thing. It is not responsible to be pushing a hybrid model and pushing people to go back into buildings that are clearly not safe and are not ready to welcome community members yet. So if you are available, we are having a standout today at the State House, which begins at 2:30 and goes until 4. We're going to show Governor Baker that we are standing together to demand safe schools. Thank you all so much for your time.
Okay, we're at the end of our program, and I don't want to leave anybody out. If I missed anyone, or if there's anyone that wants to have words real quick. Anyone? You sure? Going once. All right, well, thank you all. We appreciate you very much for coming out. And have a great day. And fight! When we fight! When we fight! When we fight! Yes, yes! All right. Thank you. Judy, did you want to say something, Judy? Did you want to thank the people?
Okay, yes. I thank everybody who has come out today. I thank everybody for their thoughts and their words. I thank everybody for the support of City Life and for other organizations that also are in solidarity with City Life and with each other. This was an event that we put together. We had a caravan that came from Jamaica Plain through Roxbury, through Mattapan, through Roxbury and Dorchester, and now they're also going to be, I think, at the 2:30 thing. They're also going to be, some of the people from here and some of the people from who are not here are also going to be with the action that's going on at the State House at 2:30 this afternoon. And so it's time that we let Governor Merker know that this could be his last term.
That ends this event for the day. And those that want to go to the State House, please feel free. Thank you. Have a nice day, be safe, and continue to fight. Now, I gave y'all a slogan. Do y'all remember what I said? Can you say that again, Becca? One more time. No, I didn't say fight.
When we rise together, we win together.
Yeah! When we rise together, we win forever. Can we say that? When we rise together, we win forever. One more time. When we rise together, we win forever. One more time. Yay! Hey! All right. Thank you all. Anyone from City Life, please come up and take a picture with us. If you're here from City Life or anybody wants to get in the picture, please come on up. Come on, City Life and anybody else. Come on and get in this picture.
City Life leadership team. Everybody in this Guys, you want anything?
Yeah, a couple of minutes. Oh. Excuse me, sir. My drink's still over there? Drink's still over there? Yeah.
Walgreens store?
Phone number.
Next.
Oh, I'm not. I just came from across the street going to the rally over there. Sorry about that.
You done see?
No, I'm good.
Here. Come here. How old is it now?
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, take care. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Resistance right here.
What's going on, y'all?
This is the man. Check him out on YouTube, The Resistance. They got pretty good videos out there.
Check me out. eyesonbluebloods@gmail.com. EYEZONBLUEBLOODZ. The Resistance on YouTube.
All right. Pretty good turnout.
Important issues about the Boston Public Schools and our mayor is accountable like always. Martin Page by the big developers. $5 letter.
Just to let y'all know, ladies and gentlemen, I did this bank before. Sit out here for a few minutes.
think so. And I was so like, just I haven't been around a lot of the housing stuff, and like, you know, I just got my first apartment and I moved out of my house, so I've been learning like adulthood myself. But this is really like, I've always cared about our community, and I never liked the gentrification part. And I've always felt like we need to be more unity to actually keep the community safe and like together, you know. Yes, I'm following neighborhoods. My name is JPix. And if you want to actually have video and stuff, I'll post it on it, because what I thought about is that the following Boston is not so much urban. So I want to kind of, I've been following the neighborhoods and I'm posting my pictures and inviting other photographers and people to tell stories in the community too to share their message. The resistance, is that you? The resistance. Well, I'll take a portrait first. Resistance. Thank you. Is this your neighborhood?
I'm live right here.
That's good. Well,
the first order on this bank right here. Get your information live, man.
oh, yes, sir. JPix Belmer.
Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is JPix Belmer. I'm from Boston, Mass. I'm a local photographer and documentarian. Also an artist, in fact, coach. So I'm here. I came out here in Dudley today, and they were doing the protest for housing, and a lot of places are really shifting and changing. So we want to make sure we keep the unity in the community.
And what's your platform?
My platform is following neighborhoods. So follow the neighborhoods and follow the neighborhood.
And where can you see that on?
Oh, on Instagram. You know, JPix, JAYPIX, MOF. So yeah, JPix Belmer. You can Google that as well. Follow your neighbors, follow the neighborhood.
And you can go on my channel and share my content as well. It's a lot for you to share. I cover police accountability. Yup, the resistance.
Right now.
Yup, give me some love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what did you say when we rise together?
We win for